Today we're going to be working on seeding cover crops into several different fields we have. We're just going to be seeding a heavy variety cereal rye. So next spring we can plant green and just into the stand of cereal rye. Right now though, I'm going to hook the Kubota up to a field cultivator because Dad needs to work down a couple spots that we used a blade and kind of reshaped. So I'm going to hook that up and then empty the shed out and load the wagon with seed and then get the drill loaded up. So got to do a bunch of shuffling this morning. Allergies. The frost just finished burning off again. It's like 9 o'clock right now or something, but anyways, we're gonna get going. Since the temperature was a couple degrees below freezing last night, Dad pulled the sprayer in the Dad pulled the sprayer in the shed so it did not freeze up because he's still got a few fields of burn down left to spray. So he's hopefully going to do that today once I get in there. But I got to move it out right now to be able to get to the stuff that we need to access. Now this thing's a little beast. Ever started. Well, y'all, the job I'm doing this morning relies on that thing, the forklift. I was able to get it started with starting fluid, but I think the regulator's frozen up and it doesn't really want to idle or run or anything, so I got it outside and I'm hoping that the sun will warm it up. She just doesn't like the cold weather at all, so let's hope that works.
So we got the wagon loaded with cereal rye, and we're ready to load it in the drill and go out and get this one field done, and got one more big field after this, and probably done about 600 acres of total cover crops for the fall. So plus we did some for after the small grains that the cows are grazing, or just to grow nitrogen for the next crop. So we've done, the vast majority of the acreage is covered. This side's full, got to do the other side. Second side full, so got enough to finish that field, come up and fill again and do the last fields. Cover crops is something everybody should take a look at, because we've been degrading our soil for over 100 years, and I think we really need to start looking at building them back again, and getting more resiliency into our system, and just keeping the soil out of the Gulf of Mexico. Is it without its issues? No, but I think it's things that can all be worked through. So you need to surround yourself with more can-do people, because honestly, farmers can tend to be negative. I fall into that category once in a while until I get kind of kicked in the head. But anyhow, we have to look at the best way to do things. So, and sometimes it's not always about biggest yield, but where's the most return and what's best long term for in the field where we cut beans a few weeks ago, and we planted the rye. So you can see the rye is coming up there, waving in the wind. So it'll be protecting the soil all winter and the spring heavy rains, and then we'll plant corn in it next spring. I think this is the end of the video. So remember to like and subscribe, and please comment how much you love Daddy on the Prairie more than Seth, because that really bugs Seth. So anyhow.